When I started out, I thought I was in the sports business, and I didn't realize I was in the business of making people successful and changing their lives until it actually started to happen. And I could truthfully tell you that it is incredibly fulfilling to make that much of an impact on people's lives, that the idea that you came up with and applying all of what's necessary in building your organization allows people to truly change their lives and be independent business owners. And in many cases, you'll probably find it's their first time being in business. And I'm going to go out on a limb, Matt, and probably share with, remind you that you're going to find that most of the franchisees, it is going to be, because their first business, you're going to find yourself doing more business coaching than training on running a staff agency. And that is, for me, I did not think of that initially. I thought, okay, I'm teaching people how to run, in my case, sports leagues. And I quickly found out, oh my gosh, a lot of these people had never run a business before. They had never ran a P&L before. They had never staffed before. All these things were like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was suddenly, calling an audible at the line of scrimmage going, okay, I need to fix training. I need to kind of readjust how we're doing what we're doing. And then life truly is never the same again once you do those things.
No, you take some of those things for granted that you did in the early days. What do you mean you don't have a great relationship, with your, work comp agent?
Right.
And fostering that, there's so much more behind the scenes, and letting go what's, right out in front of you too, and making sure that other people are empowered enough to take that over so that you can focus on the behind the scenes happenings.
True. And it's, the delicate balance that you're going to find with being that franchisor is that your franchisees are obviously independently owned and operated, and you're there to support them. And there's going to be times where some people need or want more guidance than others. And most likely your first franchisees, your first dozen, are going to be more adventurous. They're going to be bigger risk takers because they're taking, more of a chance. But those people are going to set the culture. And we've all been down this road. I think you heard of it at Springboard, that the hardest thing to do is turning down those first few checks when people say, I want in, that they absolutely have to be the right person and believe in your culture.
No, I couldn't agree more. We are so focused on doing it right. That's part of the reason we're saying no more than 3 units this year. Yeah. We want to be able to support them and have them be successful, and really say that this is what it can do for people moving forward, and then maybe next year, if we're feeling up to it, we take on 5 and we start to expand at a different rate. But we got to get it right, and we have to support those folks. To your point, set that foundation too. We want them to talk to future candidates and talk about their experience and echo our culture and what we believe in at Gigworx.
Yeah, I think it's a great strategy to open as many as you're comfortable with, because if you open too many, the problems just, they're exacerbated. I mean, it exposes you. So I think that's wonderful. So you founded the company in 2018, and you just started franchising now. I'm curious on, when did you decide franchising was right for you, and why?
Yeah, we always had this goal that we wanted to take Gigworx nationwide. We wanted to grow, we wanted to scale. And like many businesses, we wanted to codify our process. We wanted it to be proven and, repeatable. But I think there was something that really hit for me with franchising, that we would have somebody who was invested running our new locations. And I don't just mean financially, but as we talk about this, they're a business owner. They are committed to what we're doing. They're bought into the belief that we share. They're committed to making it work. And there was something about that we are in it together, that really resonated with me. It wasn't just somebody taking another job and 2 years in, they find something better and they move on. They are in it with us, for the long term, and they want us to be successful. And just like our staff in the field, they're looking for something more in their lives, and they're looking for that in business ownership. Mm-hmm. And it's not just another job. It's a big change for them. And I think, again, all those other things about good training and process and a system is important, and it's wonderful. But there was more to it about having somebody who was all in.
Yeah,
really resonated.
For sure. Now, did you explore franchising for a while? Did you go to any conferences or speak to any consultants and franchise attorney? I want to kind of get in your head of like how this whole thing came to be. What was your process for becoming a franchisor?
So It was pretty quick, to be honest. I started to look into franchising very high level. Here's some of the pros, here's some of the cons. This is how it differs from, typical growth and expansion plans. And through that, cross paths with our now president at Gigworx, John Reed McDonald. And I think that was really something that expedited, this mission and journey into franchising. Was those conversations with him. John Reed not only has an incredible background in staffing, but in franchise staffing.
Oh, okay.
Has been in it pretty much since he was 18, worked with some very large franchise staffing organizations, and was able to share just a wealth of information about not just, the glossy high level of what's great about franchising, but really the details and all the things that we had to consider as we moved forward. There's a really unique set of rules, right, that you have to follow versus a traditional business. And so it was really eye-opening. And again, we were fortunate enough to kind of talk him into picking up the family, moving to Montana and joining the team.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a big change. Says he's never been happier. It's a beautiful place and doing something he really believes in. But that really helped to expedite our ramp too. I mean, his expertise into, setting up our training, codifying these processes that we had before, and most importantly, helping with crafting our FDD.
Right.
Resources in the industry. Again, knowing Lane Fisher, working with Fisher Zucker on our FTD. Can't stress that enough.
Yes.
It was a great experience and so critical to make sure that is dialed in as we start to talk with, Z candidates about it. Yeah, we can talk about, the mission and the beliefs that we have, what the business looks like. But at the end of the day, you've got to get into that 150-page document and you better feel very confident about it.
Right. Oh, you have a huge advantage then, having a president of your company with a franchise background. That's incredible. And that allows for a different kind of conversation for you as a founder, that you don't have to go with I'm not sure, I'm kind of, flying by the seat of my pants, or I'm researching, but you get to be, pilot and co-pilot together flying this thing. And
it's great. Yeah. We have a lot of fun with that back and forth, just to your point, when we get into some of that stuff. We were on a call the other day and I was laughing because I'm like, John Reed, let me know, if there's something I shouldn't be talking about here, that could get us in hot water. He's like, oh, yellow pen and then the red pen. Okay.
Right.
Because I just want to talk about it all and I'm excited about it. We have to be within those boundaries.
Of course. How did you find him?
Again, staffing similar, kind of tight knit group, small community. We're fortunate. I mean, he is also within franchising. So he was really open to talking about it and had done some really wonderful things at his last company, helped them go from, like 20 units to 90. And he was somebody who really believed in what we're doing, doing things differently, and loves building. And so we just started kind of connecting and talking and having those conversations and saying, would you entertain coming over to the gig side of things?
Right.
And, it took a little bit of time. We brought him out to Bozeman to take a look, and things just kind of fell into place. And he's just been a wonderful addition to the team.
Wow, that's phenomenal. What about starting up this franchise, the investment? Do you mind sharing with the audience? How did you fund this franchise concept together? Did you bootstrap it? Did you bring in outside investors? I'm always curious on how people got started.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit of a mix, we definitely had operating income and cash from Bozeman and what was going on there and kind of rolling up into this parent company. But we also have outside investment from a larger staffing company that kind of believed in the concept as well. And so we've been really fortunate with that, being able to have that backing and being able to grow and feeling confident, as we bring on franchisees, that we have the resources to support them. We can run up a lot of expense in a short term because we take on all of our field staff and that payroll and the invoicing. So, our franchisees are recruiting people, bringing them on to Gigworx, but they are Gigworx franchising employees. So we run their payroll every week. And, we're waiting on those collections. So there can be a pretty big gap there, but we're still paying our franchisees. So it's nice to have that kind of cushion and security behind us.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fumey, or Emerging Franchise Group LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.